Hey, welcome back to the channel. I know I said I wasn't gonna make another video until I go on my next trip, which is gonna be at the end of March, but I have reached 1,000 subscribers and I always told myself that I would film a Q&A when I reach that milestone, so here we are finally. I am so happy to finally have this 1,000 subscribers that I had been working towards since the very beginning of my channel. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subbed or has shared my channel. It means a lot. And let's go ahead and get into the questions. I asked you guys on the community tab and on Instagram and on my personal Facebook as well for some questions, and you guys really came through with some good ones. So I'm excited to answer them. Let's go ahead and get started. First of all, a couple of you asked about my dream bucket list destination, and it is definitely Japan. I really want to go to Japan. It is a beautiful country. I love the food and I love Japanese culture, and they also have a couple of Disney parks that I would love to go to. So Japan is definitely #1 on my bucket list. Unfortunately, tickets to fly over there are kind of expensive, but I will get there one day and I'm super excited. Next question is, what is my favorite state that I have visited? And I want to say Utah. I absolutely have loved all the times I've gone to Utah. I've been to all 5 national parks over there and have gone and visited around the Moab area, and it is a gorgeous state. I love all of the red rocks and all the cool rock formations, the arches and everything. It is definitely an awesome place for photography. I love Utah and would love to go back as well. Even though I've been to all the national parks, most of them were just for a day. So I would love to go back and visit them again, do some of the hikes I missed. And yeah, I really would love to go back to Utah. Another question I got was, what is a hidden gem that I didn't expect to love? And I'm gonna say it was the city of Tallinn, Estonia, which is kind of a hidden gem, even though it's a country's capital. I feel like a lot of people don't go there, probably because it's so far north, but I spent a day in Tallinn and I wish I had more time because it is a gorgeous town, especially like the old town area. I was just gushing over it the whole time because it was so beautiful and I wanted to take a photo of everything. I was also there on a really overcast day, so maybe if I could go back when it was sunny, that would be really great. Tallinn, definitely gorgeous. If you've never been there, add it to your list because it's amazing. The next question is, what is your favorite airport that you have flown through? I'm gonna say Helsinki. That's the first one that comes to mind, just because it was a really beautiful airport. It also wasn't really crowded and full of people, which might have been because of the time of year I was there, but it's obviously not like a super popular airport like Charles de Gaulle or Heathrow or something. But the furniture and the theme of the airport was very Nordic. There were things that looked like trees, and the seats looked like rolling hills. They had all sorts of different cool places where you could sit and lay back, and I just really liked that airport. It was a great experience. Next question is the best food I've had on my travels, or a local dish. I have had a lot of really good food on my travels, although I usually try to keep it pretty cheap with the food I eat and often just eat out of grocery stores. But even so, when I do go out to eat, it's always pretty good. Some of my best meals were the salmon soup I had in Helsinki. It was super creamy and flavorful and delicious. And then I also had this salmon dish in Scotland at our hotel that we stayed at. I don't know what the name of the dish was, but it was really good. I think I have a photo of it. And also a bunch of different desserts that I've had were really good. If I have some photos of them, I'll pop them up on the screen, but I love a good dessert. And could I live anywhere that I've traveled to? I'm gonna say for the most part, no, because a lot of the places I've traveled are big cities or, really populated areas, touristy areas, and I like a calm life. I'm definitely a small town country girl and could not live in the city. Maybe some of the small towns I've been to I could maybe live in, but I really like just where I live now, so I don't think I would ever move from this area. But yeah, there are definitely some places, I feel like everybody when they travel, they're always like, man, I should just move here. And maybe I've had that thought, but I don't think I could actually move anywhere, especially any of the big cities I've been to, but it is always nice to visit them. Okay, the next question is culture shocks I've had on my trips, and I don't think I've really ever had much of a culture shock. I've only traveled to Europe, and I don't think the culture in Europe is that different than America, at least not so different that I've had, you know, a culture shock really. I'm kind of rambling, but maybe one day when I travel to Asia or Africa or South America or somewhere where the culture is more significantly different than what I'm used to, I'll have a culture shock, and I'm definitely excited for that to happen just because I really want to travel to those other places. But so far, no real big culture shocks. The next question is something I wish I had seen more of in America, and for the most part, I'm going to say national parks. I've been to a lot of the national parks, but considering there's 63 of them, I've not been to even half, and I would want to go to all of them in at least the continental United States. Like, that's a bucket list thing, is to go to all of them in the continental US, and then maybe some of the ones in like Alaska or wherever else I end up going, but definitely at least the ones in the continental US. I also want to go to every state. I think I've been to like 23 states. So I want to go to all the states, all the national parks that I can in my life. So we'll just see how that ends up going. If you're subscribed, maybe I'll go to some more national parks in the future and you can see that. And my favorite grocery store find, I'm gonna say when we were in the Isle of Skye, my dad and I went to the grocery store and we found this cake, and the box, it wasn't a big cake, just like, you know, a little cake, but the box was kind of messed up or something, so they had discounted it. Like, the cake was fine, but they had discounted it because the packaging was messed up, and we got that for like Easter / my birthday, and I think it was a red velvet cake, which is my favorite. I don't know for sure if that was the kind of cake, but in my mind it was a red velvet cake, which is my favorite type of cake. So it all kind of worked out for my birthday, and I think it was also like Easter. It was like the day before Easter, I think, that we bought it. And then my birthday, I think, was the day after Easter that year. But anyway, it was a really good cake. Okay, do I prefer solo travel or group travel more? Probably group travel. They both have their pros and cons, and moving forward, I'm probably going to be mostly solo traveling, but I do like traveling with other people because it's a shared experience. You get to split the cost of things, and I just like having another person there with me to not just experience it, but just to not be so lonely. But I really do love solo travel as well. It's more empowering. You get to completely control the schedule and the itinerary, which I really like. Although usually when I travel with my parents, I completely write the itinerary and they're just along for the ride. They really don't even know what we're doing. I'm like, okay, let's go here next. And they're like, okay. But I used to mostly travel, if I traveled with anyone, I would travel either with my mom or my dad, but right now they're not able to travel, so solo travel it is moving forward. I love solo travel though. Alrighty, and the last question is how I look up the conversion rate for currency when I travel, which is pretty simple. I usually just Google it, usually beforehand. I mean, in Europe, they mostly use the euro, and then in like the UK, they use pounds, and it's not that big of a difference between the US dollar, so I don't really think about it that much. I think the pound is a little bit more, or I don't even know. I don't pay that much attention to the conversion rate. I just kind of go with it. I do look it up beforehand or kind of figure it out, but most places in Europe, like I said, use the euro, and it's pretty close to equal right now. I know like in Iceland and Czechia, they use different currency than the euro. So that was a little different, especially in Iceland, where I think it was like 100 krona, 200 krona. It was definitely way different than like the dollar. But I just kind of figured out like what 100 krona was worth, and then kind of did the math occasionally. But like I said, I don't really pay that much attention. Okay, those are all the questions I got. I didn't get a ton, but you guys definitely came through because I was afraid I was only gonna get like 1 or 2 questions and then not be able to make a video. But thank you so much for all the questions. Thank you for watching until the end. And of course, thank you so much for subscribing. Tell everyone you know to subscribe. I'm really, really excited for this next trip that I have planned. I leave on March 26th for Italy, and then I'm gonna go to a couple other countries that I'm gonna leave for a surprise for later. And I'm super excited to share those trips with you. Thank you so much for watching. I have also joined TikTok recently, like yesterday. So if you want to follow me on there, I'll leave my username on the screen and you can come join me over on TikTok. I'm mostly just going to be posting the same shorts that I post on here, but if you're more active on TikTok, you can go and follow me on there. And I think I put my Instagram handle handle it in the video earlier, so you can follow me on Instagram. When I go on trips, I usually do a lot of stories on Instagram especially, so make sure you are following me there, especially when I go on my trip. I will be posting a bunch of stories. I'm rambling again. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.